Good morning. Shit morning, really. Lots going on with that culling there. Just thought I'm going to make a public video to sort of express why this particular cull is upsetting me particularly. Where do we start? Bushfires. Start of the year we had massive bushfires, wiped out a lot of deer and really lowered the numbers across the board. Shortly after, in my particular area and just over the border, National Parks New South Wales helicopter culled a lot of burnt country where they'd already previously attempted to cull a lot of fallow deer and salmon deer, whatever deer they can find, pigs, everything, culling animals. Time's sort of gone on, we realised a lot of the animals died, a lot of the food wasn't there, and the bush is just starting to come back. And in the meantime we've had iconic areas in Victoria aerial culled, or the deer up in their shot. The Howard High Plains, man, that's like fucking, if you are a deer hunter and you haven't been there yet, then it's probably on your list to go there next year or whatever. And if you've been there, then you just know the magic of that place. And if you've looked into any of this sambar or deer in general, you realise and you know that the deer are up in the high country, in the high altitude, getting a lot of spring growth and browsing on better nutrient plants to grow big antlers away from most people. And what happens up in that rough country, there's not many hinds in general. Not if you compare high country down to this low fringe country, state forest. And what the stags do up top is grow these big antlers that every single bastard, every single licensed deer shooter wants. Whilst we're up in the Howard and Dargo High Plains, these are our tops that we strive, that we just desire. We just want to be in New Zealand tops country, but we want to be hunting sambar. So where can we do that? Mount Hotham, Howard Plains, Dargo Plains, Mount Sarah. All those little areas in there at the moment legally, green zones that we can hunt. Over a black bitumen road, the colours change dramatically. It goes from green, black road to a red zone. The red zone spans a fucking long way over into the Middle Valley, Mount Beauty there, which covers all Feathertop and Falls Creek, and geez, that would be some amazing country to go and hunt. But we can't hunt all that. That's locked up. Parks or GMA, someone doesn't let us into those areas because it's an alpine environment area, whatever. Total bullshit. My gripe is with this whole culling shit, it's just another area that we can legally hunt deer that's getting our deer shot up as best as they can. They're trying to shoot every deer in there. They're not worried if it's a stag, a hind, or a calf, or a fallow deer nowadays. If it's running away from the chopper, they will shoot it. That's all good and well if it was in an area that I couldn't go and spend a week hunting for deer. If that was over the road, over that black strip, and it was in the next area and it was a place that hunters can't go anyway, they could fly their fucking chopper around there for 15 days and try and get everyone. That doesn't affect me as a hunter. Going back into this green zone hunting area that I just cannot wait to be there every single fucking weekend. I would just love to be there if you could, you know. To have them come through and shoot these deer out, or shoot them, lower their population dramatically, because they're not going there to just fuck around. Like, if they are, cheers for wasting our money. But anyway, if they're not going there to fuck around, they're going there to shoot deer. What are we all going there for? to find an 8 or 10-year-old stag that's been living in that area for 10 years. They're going to cull these things every year. If not every year, every couple of years. Oh yeah, the big stags will get smart and whatnot. The big stags that are currently there may get smart and may hide for next week. They might not get shot. For the next 12 months, they're going to cop fairly heavy opportunistic spotlighting and thermaling in those areas. People are not going to walk out off ridges looking for deer, but they'll drive off the road and look with the old thermal. Well, there's a couple. There's one. And then from that, genuine hunters won't go up and camp there for a week because parks have just blown our deer away. What the fuck's the point? And this is all burnt country, which wasn't heavily burnt, but it's cleared the bush up, so the stalking's great. The feed's great, the deer only browsing in there and not hurting any trees. So it's just a case of A, there's not really enough deer to warrant a full-blown aerial cull in a legal hunting ground, in the national park, in our legal tops area. B, there's enough hunters that are targeting these areas that if every hunter out there was able to jot down on our survey app deer that were taken in areas, it would come to points like this where it would make a difference, because we would have some data that says, yo, 4,000 Samba deer were shot this year on Mount Howard, whatever. 1,000 stags were shot on Dargo Road that we know of, legally. You could nearly double that in illegals. And then, fuck, our data shows 400 hinds got shot. Whatever. That goes to parks, and then, you know, you could try and liaise, come to some middle ground with these culls, because, like, also with culling, like, I wouldn't have such issue if they were just culling females or non-antlered deer. But you're 200 metres up in a fucking helicopter, and you're looking down, you're not really seeing antlers. It's a brown deer. There's its ass, there's the guts, boom, boom, pump it. All these hunters want to take all this meat out. All this meat that these choppers are shooting are just left there. Dinner Plains particularly has got wild dog problems. Omeo's got huge wild dog problems. Kabunga. Drop might only be 100 deers, fuck all up there, probably might get 200 if you're lucky, if they're really, really lucky. And there's all these carcasses strewn through these 2 valleys that runs out into a couple of ridges that goes into Kabunga and Dinner Plain and whatnot. It screams for fucking wild dog breeding ground for the next 12 months. No hunters are allowed to shoot dogs in the park. So anyway, I think it's sort of about time. I was a bit spewing last cull that I didn't go up and at least get some footage of the helicopter flying around. It was the Howard High Plains there, where I know a few hunters did go out there and get footage and heard numerous shots and just documented what was going on. I'm really spewing, I didn't get up there in May, so what is it, fucking September now. I want to go up there and just get document this, wear me blaze orange, stand there with my camera and just watch this fucking chopper, count some shots. And I just think it's kind of a time that, like, imagine 1,000 hunters up on the Hotham car park to start with, in their 4-wheel drives, all wearing blaze orange. Maybe have a sign or a bloody set of antlers or something. A sort of peaceful protest, just to sort of be like, hey, we're all up here. We are not stoked. We're actually really disappointed with what's going on in this hunting area. To us, the future, looking at this, the future is very grim. It's not very good. It's not very good looking at it forward, as there's no friendship between Parks Victoria, GMA, ADA, deer hunters, recreational deer hunters It's just whatever's going, whatever's happening, and we're not going to get anywhere, and we're just going to have to keep paying heaps of money to go out hunting so we can chase these stags, which sort of aren't there because of all those other things I've talked about with like we'll call it illegal hunting, which right across the board, daytime, nighttime, and then these massive culls in our pretty favoured Alpine National Park. It's fucking sad. And it's just a bit too far. Game licenses, stick them up your ass. Anyway, think about it. It's all happening right now. It's on next week. You could get a lot of hunters to congregate by Sunday up in the mountains. You could get everyone there by Monday. Fuck work, get out of whatever you're doing and just turn up for one day to say, hey, this means fucking heaps to me and what you're doing is shit. Simple. Might see you there.